Mark and Sarah, to anyone who knew them, they were the perfect couple. High school sweethearts who had navigated the choppy waters of college, careers, and life, always with their hands intertwined. Their friends called them unbreakable. Mark believed it. He truly did. He'd look at Sarah, her laughter filling their cozy home, and think, how did I get so lucky? Their life was a tapestry woven with shared dreams, inside jokes, and a love that seemed to deepen with each passing year. They had built a fortress of trust, or so Mark thought, but even the strongest walls can have hidden cracks. The first hint of a tremor came subtly. It wasn't a sudden earthquake, but a series of small, almost imperceptible shifts. Sarah started guarding her phone like it held state secrets. A device that once lay casually on the coffee table was now always in her pocket, or clutched in her hand. When Mark would walk into the room, she'd quickly switch apps or angle the screen away. "Just work stuff," she'd say with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. Mark, ever the trusting husband, brushed it off. "She's under a lot of pressure at her new job," he told himself. He wanted to believe it. He needed to. Then there were the late nights at the office. They became more frequent, stretching into the weekends. Dinners grew cold on the table as Mark waited, his texts met with delayed, brief replies. "Sorry, got held up in a meeting. Just finishing a big project." The excuses were plausible, but the pattern was unsettling. The vibrant connection they once shared started to feel strained, like a radio signal fading into static. The easygoing conversations were replaced by a tense silence, filled with unspoken questions that hung heavy in the air. Mark tried to talk to her about it. He'd gently ask if everything was okay, if she was happy. Sarah would always reassure him. "Of course, silly. I'm just tired. Work's been a beast." She'd hug him, kiss him, and for a moment the old warmth would return, and Mark's doubts would retreat into the shadows. He'd scold himself for being paranoid, for letting his imagination run wild. This was Sarah, his Sarah, the woman he had loved for more than half his life. She would never betray him. The fortress was still standing, wasn't it? He just had to have faith. The breaking point arrived on a quiet Tuesday evening. Sarah had claimed another late night at work, but Mark, needing to retrieve a file from their shared laptop for a presentation, decided to use her computer since his was updating. He wasn't looking for anything. He was just trying to get his work done. As he opened the browser, he saw that her personal email was still logged in. He was about to sign out when a subject line from an unknown sender caught his eye. It was just a single word. Tonight. Curiosity, a dangerous and powerful force, got the better of him. His heart began to pound a frantic rhythm against his ribs. With a trembling hand, he clicked on the email. The message was short, but it shattered his world into a million pieces. "Can't wait to see you. Same place. I miss the way you feel." It was signed, Alex. Mark felt the air leave his lungs. Alex. He remembered the name. A new colleague Sarah had mentioned a few times, always casually, always in passing. Suddenly, all the late nights, the guarded phone, the emotional distance, it all clicked into place like a horrifying puzzle. But this was just one email. Maybe it was a misunderstanding? A sick joke? Desperate for an alternative reality, he started digging. He found a hidden folder on her desktop, innocuously labeled Project Phoenix. It wasn't a work project. It was a chronicle of her betrayal. Hundreds of messages, not just emails but saved chats from a secret app. He started reading, each word a fresh stab to the heart. He saw their plans, their pet names, their shared secrets. They talked about their stolen moments and their future together, a future that didn't include him. He read messages where Sarah complained about him. She called him predictable and boring. She described their life together as a comfortable cage. The woman he adored, the woman he thought adored him, was painting him as the villain in a story he didn't even know he was in. He saw photos of them together, Sarah and Alex, laughing in a bar he didn't recognize, holding hands in a park they had never visited together. Her smile in those pictures was different. It was a radiant, carefree smile he hadn't seen in years. The most painful discovery was the timeline. This wasn't a recent mistake. The messages went back for over 6 months. 6 months of lies. 6 months of living a double life. Every "I love you" she had said to him in that time felt like poison. Every hug, every kiss was a lie. The foundation of their unbreakable marriage wasn't just cracked. It had been a hollow facade all along. He sat there staring at the screen, the glow of the monitor illuminating the tears streaming down his face. The man who entered the room an hour ago was gone, replaced by a hollowed-out shell. When he heard her key in the door, he didn't move. He just sat in the darkness, the laptop open on the table, a silent accuser. Sarah walked in, humming a cheerful tune, which died in her throat when she saw him. "Mark, what are you doing sitting in the dark?" she asked, her voice laced with a nervous edge. He didn't answer. He just gestured towards the glowing screen. She followed his gaze, and the color drained from her face. The truth was out. The hidden messages. The secret life. It was all laid bare in the quiet of their living room. The fortress hadn't just been breached. It had been utterly demolished from the inside out. And in the rubble, Mark was left to wonder how he could ever rebuild. The silence that followed was the loudest thing Mark had ever heard. It was a void filled with a decade and a half of shared memories, now tainted and twisted. Sarah finally spoke, her voice a whisper. "Mark, I can explain." But what was there to explain? The evidence was irrefutable. The feelings, the plans, the betrayal. It was all there in black and white. For Mark, the journey ahead would be a long and painful one, a path of healing from a wound he never saw coming. It's a stark reminder that sometimes the people we think we know the best are the ones who hide the deepest secrets. Thank you so much for watching and for being a part of this community. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Your support means the world. Take care of yourselves and each other.